2020 has been an unprecedented year in the world of sports. Teams in every league have struggled to find the best way to protect their players while still giving fans the entertainment they love. And the challenges aren't over yet, as major countries around the world begin producing COVID-19 vaccines, and questions remain over whether players should have access and if that access should be mandatory. So joining me now to discuss it all is RT's Regina Ham. All right, Regina, so we're talking about the start of this vaccine rollout, and right now those drugs are going towards essential workers, but now we're also hearing that when it comes to players in the sports world, then maybe their teams could go straight to the distributor to request the vaccines. I mean, is that cutting in line, or is this just the future of what we're going to be seeing?
So let's think about the three leagues that are going to be in play. The NFL's already playing, the NBA and the NHL will be coming up. So the NFL's already stated, we're going to wait. We're going to be responsible and realize the vaccine should go where they need to go. So Super Bowl comes around, players will not be vaccinated. The NHL has floated the idea that they would go to private purchase for these vaccines. They've insisted they won't cut the line as they're needed elsewhere. But in 2009, with the H1N1 vaccine, the Calgary Flames had their families, coaches, and players receive it, and that received a lot of outcry because that was also during another public health emergency. Yeah. The NBA themselves have decided we're going to put a protocol in place, potentially, for these vaccines, but they've also insisted they don't want to jump the line. So I think the major leagues are trying to be responsible, but also realizing if this is the way to protect their players, it may have to be the route they go, but I'm sure if they do, the backlash will be very loud.
Yeah, and there will definitely be some players who aren't on board with those restrictions. Okay, so we've got the players taken care of. Now, what about the fans? Because, of course, there are a lot of fans that are ready to get back in the stands, ready to watch that live action. They say that it's not enough to just see it on the TV screen. So is there any chance that the fans could then have to take those mandatory vaccines as well in order to go to the games?
That's a tricky question, isn't it, Rachel? Because it's very much a decision of that's our personal choice to get vaccinated. A lot of people would say that is. Whether you agree with that or not, it's a different story. Yeah. So if sports organizations come and say, hey, you have to be proof of vaccine to buy a ticket, you're going to get pushback. Mm-hmm. So then you now are losing revenue by the people who go, well, I'm not going to get the vaccine anyway, so I'll just sit at home. So with sports already having lost so much money due to the pandemic, that's a very tough position for organizations and teams to be in. Do they want to potentially lose even more revenue because they're now pushing people to be like, well, either get in or get out?
Yeah.
Or are people going to realize, hey, if this is what it takes, those diehard sports fans, they may not care and go, you know what, I'll do it. But really going to have to be a wait-and-see game after all the essential workers, where the rest of the public stands and where sports teams decide to draw that line in the future.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Now, when it comes to those new restrictions, we've had a lot of Americans who have discovered how nice it is to maybe stay home, watch the game on the big screen in their own home, and not have to spend all of the time and energy and money to go out. Is there then a fear that there is going to continue to be a loss of revenue because people just want to stay home when it comes to those games?
I think so, and that's something sports teams have been fearing since the beginning of this, is realizing, A, their broadcast deals have lost significant value because if people are going to stay home, they don't need to pay as much. And then you're looking at people, the game day experience can run hundreds of dollars depending on if it's baseball, NFL, NBA. So people are going to realize I can be saving all that money and I don't have to worry about getting a vaccine. I can just watch the Rockets play at home. So you're going to see a significant, I think, cultural shift in how people view and watch sports, but hopefully that shift is minimal at best, because who doesn't love a live sporting event?
Absolutely. It'll certainly be interesting to see how sports continue after what has already been an unprecedented year. Regina Ham, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.